Now, England versus Scotland is a fixture which evokes passion amongst the fans. So let's continue to count down to tonight's game at Hampden Park. Mark Benstead is in Glasgow. There he is, and he's with a former England striker. Spent quite a few years playing in Scotland. Mark, reveal all.
Good morning, Rob. Yeah, who better to set up tonight's game than a man who played in this fixture 3 times, had 32 caps for England and lives in Scotland, played in Scotland, knows plenty about the Scottish game. It's the former England international, Mark Hateley. Well, first and foremost, what are your memories of this fixture when you played in it?
Won one, drew one, lost one. So, yeah, right across the board, I think, especially when we played these games as well, end of a season, end of a long season. And I actually remember standing up playing against Alex McLeish in one of the games, and just all we could talk about, where you're going on holiday, you know, what's it? The pitch was rock hard, it was roasting hot, and it was one of those, you know, it's England-Scotland, but it was played at the wrong time. This time of the year, perfect time for an England-Scotland game. Friendly game? I don't think so.
When you played, you had both teams full of top players. Mm-hmm. Are we getting back to something similar now, where it's much more competitive?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, we had top players, you know, an absolutely fantastic squad, but we couldn't achieve anything. We obviously got to World Cups and European Championships as recorded, but I think right now we have the same group. We have a big group of multi-talented players, you know, with ambitions of winning things. But to do that, you have to find a different gear, and I think that's what Steve Clarke's got right now with Scotland. He's got a great, I'm going to say, 12, 13 players to pick from, who are playing well week in, week out, playing out with Scottish football as well, which I think is important to develop the game. And yeah, I see this as I'm going to say, the starting 11 for Scotland is as good as a starting 11 possibly for England right now, and Gareth Southgate's boys.
I was going to say, some England fans watching that may be surprised to hear you say that. What makes you think the gap has closed so much and there's so little between those first 11s?
Yeah, I think, well, Steve Clarke's got bought at this in, you know, well, the facts will back it all up. You know, they're playing at a higher level than England at the moment in the league that they plays. They've only conceded 1 goal, and that's from a penalty in qualification. So as we go, or we'll talk about this data, that sums it all up. And I think when you have a group like England have got, it's trying to get all those top players into a starting 11, which we had the problem in when I played in a period where it was so many top players that were vying for a game. I think the benefit for Scotland right now, they've got the numbers, but they can't afford to get injuries. So that's the problem for Steve Clarke. The only other problem is getting an out-and-out goal scorer. You know, Alistair McCoist would be ideal if he could find a player like that to go with this group. Goals from midfield, and just, you need that striker though, and I think that's what, you know, Steve would be begging for right now. The only player he would be looking for would be a goal-scoring 9.
You mentioned England have the challenge of fitting all the good players in. One of the players who falls into that equation a little bit now is Phil Foden. A debate at the moment about where he could play if he played for England. Could he play more centrally in the middle of midfield rather than wider? Gareth Southgate seems to think maybe not.
Well, I think the man's got so much talent. He's an incredible young player. You know, any club, anywhere would love to have him. I think he's that good. You know, you've got Rashford and you've got Grealish. You know, didn't start as I say, in the last game, but you know, Foden, I think he's got that much ability to create and take goals. From I can say from right side, left side, through the middle. I think he has the ability to be involved, and I think the modern game would probably prove that, because as long as you've got a fluid 3, normally a fluid 3 up front, you've got Harry Kane that drops down and somebody else will go through the middle. As long as you've got your 3 that are in a 3, and not standing on top of each other. I think that can work, especially with intelligent players.
You mentioned that Scotland are searching for a number 9.
Yeah.
England do have one in Harry Kane. He's followed your example. He's gone abroad to further his game. Do you see him becoming a better player now he's gone to Bayern?
Well, it'll be a different experience for him. Out the comfort zone of your family around you and all that sort of stuff. I know he'll have his family out there with him. The overall family, the bigger family, friends, and that's a side where he will learn from a different culture, which is important to just immerse himself fully into that. But, Harry's a good player. He did the hard yards when he was a younger player. He was out on loan at lower league clubs. The goals speak for themselves. I mean, he's a terrific player and a great example for all English footballers.
Mark, really appreciate your time. Your thoughts of Mark Hateley there, the former England striker. His match 116 between Scotland and England tonight. England have the better win rate overall, but Scotland, above momentum and confidence is high in Glasgow. They could do something tonight.